Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the program today, the topic is water. Who's got it and who wants it? Paul Enos has the rundown.
As the old adage goes, in Nevada, whiskey is for drinking and water is for fighting. Today we're going to talk with Pat Mulroy, General Manager of the Southern Nevada Water Authority. Sam?
And coming up on the Power Pundit panel today, Dick Gammick and John Griffin. It's all coming up next on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Here at the Tahoe-Reno Industrial Center, water resources come from fresh, clean groundwater, approved by state permits. The water is pumped from wells to million-gallon storage tanks and then distributed to TRI companies. Another amenity is our investment in a state-of-the-art wastewater treatment plant. This disposal system converts waste to clean water for industrial applications. Welcome to the Tahoe-Reno Industrial Center, the largest industrial park in the world, building economic prosperity for Nevada.
When making your decision as where to play golf, consider the resort at Red Hawk. You know you have made the right choice the moment you arrive. The friendly staff welcomes you to our award-winning pro shop. You know you've made the right decision on the first tee. The Lakes course is in the best condition in years. You know you've made the right choice after you've played 18 holes. The resort at Red Hawk, the right choice.
Nevada Newsmakers is sponsored in part by the Nevada Beer Wholesalers Association.
As an employer, did you know you can be held liable for negligent hiring? A background screening by Employer Links can uncover criminal records, like alcohol and drug convictions. It can verify the applicant's education, driving records, and professional licenses. Employer Links can check civil records, registered sex offender records, and Social Security fraud. Hiring the right person shouldn't be a gamble. Call Employer Links. Employer Links, protecting your investment.
So, who do you use for workers' comp?
Pro Group Management.
Ah, I've heard some good things about them.
You bet. Employee background checks, safety training, claim seminars. Oh, and here's the great part. If you have an issue, they work for you, not against you.
Sounds perfect. And expensive.
Well, that's the best part. They saved me 30%. I've heard they saved others 50%.
Works for me. Pro Group Management. Finally, workers' comp that works for you.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we are joined by Pat Mulroy, who is the boss of the Southern Nevada Water Authority, one of our proud sponsors, and we welcome you to the program as always.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Pat, as I said earlier, in Nevada, whiskey's for drinking and water is for fighting, and apparently we're having some of those old adages are now coming true. Southern Nevada Water Authority is looking at bringing in 200,000 acre-feet of water into Clark County, and it's upset some ranchers in rural Nevada. Can you tell us what's going on there?
Well, first of all, 200,000 acre-feet out of rural Nevada is not what we're trying to bring in. We're looking at a range between 125 and 180, depending on what the state engineer will ultimately permit. And it's really the battle is really only around two basins. We have an agreement with Lincoln County and have formed a great partnership with Lincoln County. We are trying desperately to sit down with White Pine County and have a dialogue with them. We know that the agreement White Pine County is going to want is very different from the agreement that Lincoln County wanted from us, and we are willing to sit down and talk to them. So far, we've been unsuccessful.
What is that difference?
Well, Lincoln County's agreement was essentially a development agreement. They have, with the sale of the Aerojet property in southern Lincoln County, for the first time has a real economic development opportunity here. And they are very, very anxious to see that development start. And so we shared the water resources that we filed on in Lincoln County with Lincoln County. And a month ago they came to us and asked us to please amend the agreement so that we would also share facilities. So it is my guess that by September we will take an amended agreement to our board in which we will allow Lincoln County the use of our facilities, and they would bring their water into the same pipeline, because it doesn't make any sense to build two pipelines of that expense in the same right-of-way. Now, White Pine County's agreement is going to be more one of protection. From listening to what the ranchers and what the communities in White Pine County are saying, is they're worried about three things. They're worried about ranchers losing their water and destroying that rural lifestyle, and they're worried about destroying the environment, and finally they're worried that if they permanently sever themselves from these water resources, that water that they one day may need will now be used in southern Nevada. And so we've said, you know, changing Nevada water law doesn't make a lot of sense because the impact statewide would be disastrous. However, it's not impossible to constrain what we would want to take out of White Pine County through an agreement between ourselves and the White Pine County Commission. And we've said we don't want to make the same mistake that happened to us in southern Nevada. We would be willing to allow whatever water right the state engineer gives us to have a 75-year review. And it would be reviewed on two premises. A, based on pumping experience over the last 60, 75 years. We would model forward and look at what prospective environmental damage could potentially be done, and we would back away from any water rights that future pumping might cause environmental damage. Second of all, should the Ely area have grown to such a point where water from Spring Valley now needs to move to Stecto Valley, we would cede those water rights to White Pine County. Now, how can we do that? In 75 years, those facilities are fully amortized. In 75 years, changes will occur on the Colorado River. And the emotional, negative feelings that right now exist in the state of California around ocean desalting, for example, will disappear. Right now, the Coastal Commission is violently opposed to any desalters along the coast. And San Diego's having a hard time getting a desalting facility built. All that's going to change ultimately over time. So we will have time to replace those resources over that period. Then the only reliance that southern Nevada will have is if the Colorado River is stricken by that horrible drought that we've came very, very close to. 90% of our water comes from the Colorado River. And if we are struck by that, the whole town shuts down. Even ocean desalting won't do you any good because we'll take it as Colorado River water, and everyone will be backing off that system in order to allow that system to recover. We have also said that on a year-to-year basis, we think it would be a good idea for there to be a joint committee, commission, don't know what you want to call it, made up of White Pine County commissioners and SNWA board members who would annually approve a pumping plan. So, for example, if there is a regionalized drought in, say, Spring Valley, we would back off pumping there, and that would be reflected in that pumping plan. Artificial recharge that we could do, artificially forcing water into the basin to stabilize those groundwater basins. All those things would be incorporated in an annual pumping plan that would then be reviewed by them. Okay, but now, of recent days, White Pine County commissioners weren't even talking to you. Are they at least talking to you now? No, they will not talk to us. What do you intend to do about that? I mean, the county is bankrupt. I mean, the state has taken over. I understand that, and part of the frustration that we're seeing is they're caught in this emotional vice. I mean, we have water wells on the Nevada side of the line in Snake Valley, which is really where all the emotion around this issue is coming from. These wells sit on the Nevada side of the line where 60% of the water is, and they're fueling fields on the Utah side of the line. White Pine County derives no economic benefits out of the agriculture on the Utah side of the line. We are more than willing to work with White Pine County on economic development projects that they may want to embark on. But that hasn't been the focus of their attention. We have no choice, Sam, but to continue to move forward. So we will push forward with the EIS, which we're on right now. We are looking to move forward on the water right hearings at the state engineer level. We can't stop. At any point along the way, White Pine County Commission, we welcome sitting down with them and talking to them. Okay. But we have no choice. Let's take a break. We'll be right back talking more about water with Pat Mulroy on Nevada Newsmakers.
For a videotape copy of any Nevada
Nevada Newsmakers program, call 775-857-2244. The tapes are $20 each, including shipping.
My family started this business 27 years ago. We work hard to serve our customers and our community.
But it's getting harder and harder to keep the doors open.
For example, our workers' comp is going through the roof. Isn't anyone on my side anymore?
The Retail Association of Nevada is. If you're a small business owner, we can cut your workers' comp by up to 50%, lobby for your interests, and keep you informed. Put us to work today.
Reno's best dining values are all at one casino, the Pepper Mill. You can enjoy great savings on our popular specials. Pepper Mill's coffee shop offers daily lunch specials, low-carb dining, and all your favorite comfort foods. You'll find sensational lunch specials featuring Reno's freshest seafood, sushi, pasta, and more at Oceano. And early bird specials at Reno's Premier Steakhouse and Romanza Ristorante Italiano. The best values are at the Pepper Mill. Where are you dining?
Many of the materials we rely on every day come from the ground, and modern mining technology brings them to us cleaner and safer than ever before. To learn more about America's natural resources, visit nma.org, the National Mining Association.
Come join the fun on Saturday, August 20th at the 5th Annual Ricky Woodring Memorial Fund and Scholarship Golf Tournament. It's an 18-hole four-person scramble with food and fun at the beautiful Arrow Creek Golf Club. The entrance fee of $130 includes green fees, golf cart, continental breakfast, lunch, and snacks with raffle and silent auction. All proceeds to benefit the Ricky Woodring Memorial Fund and the Galena High Athletic Programs. A hole-in-one wins a 2005 Ford Mustang, compliments of Jones West Ford. It's a day of golf, food, fun, and prizes. Call 851-7454 now to reserve your spot.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're continuing our conversation with Pat Mulroy, who heads up the Southern Nevada Water Authority. Okay, I'm going to go into the area of rumors. There's lots of rumors floating around. And what the rumors are saying is, are we seeing the beginning of Nevada's version of LA Water and Power? And here's some of the things that are fueling these rumors. Southern Nevada Water Authority bought into the 577-megawatt Silverhawk power plant, correct? Mm-hmm. Nevada Power bought 3/4 of it and are managing the Southern Nevada Water Authority's dispatch on all levels, while the Colorado River Commission is working to bring lower cost capacity to Southern Nevada on behalf of Southern Nevada Water Authority, Nevada Power. You're already a working team, right?
We're a working team, but very separate agencies.
Okay, well, let me just move forward just with a couple of more thoughts here. Nevada Power, at this point, financially can't afford to keep pace with the growth, but the Colorado River Commission can leverage public bonds at lower costs. And then if you look at the northern portion of the state, Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway is already pumping money into Sierra Pacific in short-term notes. The rumor is that Warren Buffett intends to at some point buy Sierra Pacific in the north. It's like a strong magnet pulling these three big players together.
Well, let's set the whole Nevada Power issue aside, because we settled our differences with them this year, and we do have a working partnership. The only reason we're doing what we're doing is because we have to have a reliable power supply. And our need for reliability is so strong because we can't shut the community. We have to have electricity in order to treat water and pump water. We gave ourselves some independence. But because of the new partnership with Nevada Power Company, they're managing it for us because that's what their business is. So I don't see any great Machiavellian plot out there.
Oh, I'm not suggesting that. I'm just saying that, in the past, it looked like you wanted to buy
we did.
Nevada Power?
That was the past, and this is now. That issue's over with.
And so you don't anticipate sometime in the next year or two that...
Absolutely not.
Okay, I'm going to write that down.
Let's talk about the Colorado River.
Okay.
You were in a film where you said the Colorado River is running dry. Can you elaborate on that a little more?
Well, it is in the worst drought that the Colorado River has ever seen. And quite honestly, in the 90s, when the Bureau of Reclamation and the states were modeling the river, no one ever anticipated the possibility of this kind of a drought striking. You couple that with the lower basin using every drop that it's allocated to it, things are going to have to change. We're going to see a very different Colorado River management in the next 10, 15, 20 years than we've seen in the last 80 years. And it's simply a function of we lived in an era of excess, and we're now in an era of tight supplies and shortages. And so how you relate to one another and how you work together becomes very, very important.
Okay, one of the questions that popped up recently was an article that was in the Las Vegas Sun where it was talking about Harvey Whittemore, who's building Coyote Springs that straddles the Clark County, Lincoln County border, has picked up in excess of 40,000 acre feet of water, but very quietly, very smoothly.
And he has a huge project that he has to deliver water to. His project is not viable unless he brings these water resources in. And so he's talked to Vidler, and he has bought ranches from willing sellers. The water will be used in Lincoln County, just in a different place in Lincoln County. It'll be redeployed, ultimately. I think right now he has a commitment to keep that ranching operation going. But, you know, my guess would be that ultimately some of that ranch land will be changed.
Yeah, because it's going to be a huge community. Something like 200,000 people.
It's going to be huge.
But are you surprised at the seeming ease that he's been able to do this, whereas sometimes you guys struggle so much?
No, what we're seeing in southern Nevada, well, yeah, the ease he can is because he doesn't have the spotlight on him, and he's not big bad southern Nevada, and he's buying water in Lincoln County for use in Lincoln County. These are all very different dynamics. Sometimes I worry that a lot of the anxiety that we're going through and a lot of the resistance we're encountering is because we're southern Nevada. That if it was a different part of the state, we would be treated and we would be looked at very differently. But that having been said, yes, this is an enormous development for Lincoln County.
I wanted to ask you one other question about Lincoln County, which is the delays. There are new studies now going in that are going to delay the start, to perhaps, well, you wanted to start pumping water by 2015, but how late do you think it's going to be now before you're able to pump water from Lincoln County?
Well, here's what's going to happen. If we amend the agreement whereby Lincoln County is going to use those facilities with us, we're going to have to rescope that portion of the EIS, because obviously we're now including waters and points of delivery into that pipeline that weren't previously envisioned in the scoping. So we're looking at adding probably 18 months. It may add a little bit of time at the end, but we still have the Virgin River and we have the Muddy River. We're embroiled in serious negotiations with the fellow states on the Colorado River. And because we entered into that banking agreement with the state of Arizona, if it slips a year or two, we're okay.
Okay, and that's where we got to leave it. It's always a pleasure to have you here. We always have 100 more questions that we could ask you we don't have time for, so please come back soon.
I'll be delighted to. Thank you, Sam.
We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this timeout.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
Since its creation more than a decade ago, the Southern Nevada Water Authority has focused on 3 goals: preserving water quality, improving water conservation in Southern Nevada, and meeting the community's current and future water needs. Through thoughtful planning, responsible management, and collaboration, it's succeeding. As we move into the 21st century, the authority continues to embrace sustainable water development and efficient water use. That's our promise to Nevada.
When making your decision as where to play golf, consider the resort at Red Hawk. You know you have made the right choice the moment you arrive. The friendly staff welcomes you to our award-winning pro shop. You know you've made the right decision on the first tee. The Lakes course is in the best condition in years. You know you've made the right choice after you've played 18 holes. The resort at Red Hawk, the right choice.
I tell you, John, this industry has really changed.
Tell me about it.
You seem to do pretty well last year. What's your secret?
No secrets. Although I'll tell you something. The smartest thing I did was sign up with Pro Group Management.
Really? Yeah, they do workers' comp, right?
Yeah, their services are great. And get this, they saved me 30%. I've heard they saved others 50%.
That works for me.
Pro Group Management. Finally, workers' comp that works for you.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad.
And we're joined on our Power Pundit panel today by Dick Gammick, the Washoe County District Attorney, and a newbie on the program. We have John Griffin with the Crowell Group. Welcome to both of you. You had some responses, Dick, to desalinization that Pat Mulroy was talking about.
Yeah, before I jump into that, I just want to say what a very intelligent, extremely well-prepared lady she is. She really knows her business. But she mentioned one thing.
You looking for work? You looking for work?
No.
Okay.
I learn a lot about water.
This is not the kind of show where we like to compliment people too.
Well, that's why I was going to throw you there. She mentioned taking the salt out of the ocean, or desalinization of the oceans, and I hear that, and she's saying that they're really looking forward to that for the Southern California and the end of the Colorado River. But I've always got a question, where are we going with that? Are we going to create, look at Walker Lake, it's evaporating, it's leaving all the minerals and everything in it, and it's dying. Is that what they're looking at the ocean? They're going to pull all the salt out of it? And what are they going to do with salt?
Well, actually, there's people much smarter than me who have suggested if the Yucca Mountain repository comes here, they can use the salt as an insulator, because salt is a great insulator, and just put it right over the mountains. So
then desalinization becomes a pro-nuke dump argument.
Absolutely.
Oh, man. Well, boy, that goes on with another topic we'll try to get to today. I think, though, the concept, though, is great. I mean, Saudi Arabia has desalination plants. I'm not sure what they do with the salt. Maybe we'll do a little Googling today and find out. But the idea of desalinization and giving that water to Southern California and then taking an increased amount from the Colorado River, to me, makes an awful lot of sense.
But what do you do with the wildlife? And we rely in this world a lot on the oceans, and we're fishing them out. We're killing off the wildlife. Somewhere along the way, all these resources are going to be drying up.
Dick Gammick, environmentalist, something you never thought you would see.
Okay, Paul, take it away.
Jim Gibson.
I've been called a Democrat and been called environmentalist.
Jim Gibson, the mayor of Henderson, is running for governor and apparently raising a lot of money. What do you guys see in this? Do you see him as being the front runner now, and maybe Titus and Perkins taking a back seat?
So he hasn't officially announced yet. He just said he's looking at it, and he'll have an announcement next week.
With $800,000.
But assuming...
Although Bordelon going over with him, so a de facto announcement, more so than, I guess, anybody in the race other than maybe Titus has made so far. But I think he provides a moderate aspect to the Democratic side of the ticket. And I think he has decent name recognition up in northern Nevada from a lot of the old-timers who know his family name. And
you know, I got to disagree on that. I mean, I've been around a long time, since 1978 in northern Nevada, and, you know, I'm aware of him. I'm certainly aware of his father. But, you know, he doesn't strike me as a big visibility name. Now, with an $800,000 war chest to begin with, that's a lot of money, but I think he's going to have to do a lot of work to get the recognition up here.
Well, and if it's him and Gibbons, it's going to be really easy to confuse the names on the ballots.
Oh, man.
That's true. But Gibbons and Gibson is going to be tough. But people seem to forget something in this area when they start talking about name recognition and the people around. We do about a 50% turnover every 5 years. I mean, our population changes tremendously in this state, and especially in Washoe County. So name recognition sometimes works for you, sometimes it doesn't mean anything.
Do you think that Gibson raising all this money is going to deter Richard Perkins from entering the race?
I would be surprised if it did. He's been way too long setting his stage. I'd be surprised. It could happen, but I'd be surprised if he did.
I think he's in. I think he's marched down that road. I think he's raised a decent amount of money and made some commitments, and it's too late to turn back now.
And with Pete Ernott as campaign manager, it's pretty hard to write him off, you know, before he's even made an announcement.
Yeah, Pete hasn't even geared up yet. That's we're all
so whose race is this to lose? Whose race, the Democratic primary, whose is it to lose?
Tina Titus.
I agree.
Very interesting.
You know, it's just fascinating that, you know, we're sitting here, you know, 18 months ahead of the election, and this is, you know, just a huge topic. I've never seen anything quite like it in Nevada politics.
And we don't even know who's running yet. That's the
well, and a lot of people, you know, who normally give money, lobbyists, for example, you know, are not assigning their money yet because they want to see how things, you know, continue to shake out. Big story that's been breaking the last couple of days, and we're going to do a lot more on this tomorrow, is illegal immigration. And we've got two states, Arizona and New Mexico, who have both put up a whole bunch of money because they say the federal government is just doing a lousy job of damming the flood of illegal aliens pouring over the Mexican border. Dick, how big of a problem is this in Nevada?
It's a substantial problem, and we are talking about illegal aliens coming into the country, not people who come in here legally, and I don't want to see you getting a lot of email over that. But as far as the illegal aliens, they come in. You hear a lot of noise being made about how beneficial they are because they take the low-paying jobs and the little jobs and all that. All that aside, they pull real hard on our whole medical system. They pull real hard on the welfare system. They do take jobs away from other people who are here legally. We have them involved in quite a bit of criminal activity. There are a lot of problems come out of the flow into this country, and that needs to be fixed, and the federal government has not handled it well. They are not handling it well, and you see a lot of things coming out of it that aren't good.
Are you seeing a lot of the MS-13 gang members up here? A lot of illegal immigrants, I guess, are involved in that gang. Are you seeing a lot of that activity up here in the north or down in Las Vegas, Dick? Actually, we see gang activity, but I've said time and again, for the size of our community and for as much influx and outflux as we get here, our gang problems are pretty well low. We're a very fortunate community in that respect. In fact, Carson City has a lot of gang issues that they may even be outdoing us now. Clark County has some real serious gang issues down there, and yes, you do see a lot of the illegal aliens come in, the youth, and join into those gangs, but we've had a very aggressive, whatever they are this week, INS, ICE, whatever they're calling them this week, we've had a very aggressive office here and some great cooperation to get rid of a lot of those people when they do come in and they're found.
And that's where we got to leave it. We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the world's largest industrial park, the resort at Red Hawk, and the Peppermill family of casinos.
High-tech companies demand perfect world amenities. They require clean, reliable power, state-of-the-art fiber optic communications, and clean water sources. In a perfect world, companies would have immediate access to rail and interstate freeways. There would be 4-lane expressways that shorten shipping times and provide convenient commute routes for valued employees. Well, the future is now, and it's here. Welcome to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the largest industrial park in the world, building economic prosperity for Nevadans.
South Reno's hotspot for food, fun, and friends is the Tamarack Junction. Play over 480 of the hottest slots and video poker games. Enjoy hot times and sizzling food specials at Sully's Sports Bar, Grill, and Nightclub. Watch your favorite game on one of our jumbo high-definition plasma TVs. Enjoy great food 24 hours a day in the Dining Car Restaurant. Or sample the best hot and cold sandwiches in the Whistle Stop Deli. The Tamarack Junction is your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amati Ranch Parkway. Yeah.
Don't forget, you can watch the last 2 weeks worth of Nevada Newsmakers at NevadaNewsmakers.com on streaming video. It's really easy to use, and the site is a great resource. Also, we love to get your emails, and you can email us directly from the site, NevadaNewsmakers.com. Coming up tomorrow,
Lorraine Hunt, our Lieutenant Governor and gubernatorial candidate.
We'll see you then.